aromatic ethers. And when I talk about aromatic ethers, so generally it is represented by a benzene ring, oxygen, and on the other side there is an alkyl group, where alkyl group can be methyl, ethyl, etc. So if alkyl group is CH3 group, इसको कहेंगे एनिजोल. And if alkyl group is ethyl group, इसको कहेंगे फिनिटोल. So we need not discuss much about the aromatic ethers because relatively it's a smaller topic. But regarding its preparation, as both the aromatic ethers we see are unsymmetrical in nature, so we cannot prepare it by dehydration of primary alcohols. We will have to prepare it by Williamson synthesis. So let us discuss what happened in Williamson synthesis. It is already discussed, it's just a repetition, that if you are given the task of preparing aromatic ethers, say we are given the task of preparation of anisole, which represents the aromatic ether. So in this particular case, we are to prepare this benzene on one side and methyl group on another side. And if you want to prepare it with the help of Williamson synthesis, then there can be two possibilities, as I said. The methyl should come from the halide and benzene should come from the sodium alkoxide. This is one possibility, theoretical. And what is the second possibility? The benzene should come from haloarine and the methyl should come from the sodium alkoxide. But practically speaking, you cannot prepare anisole by the second combination. And we have already discussed it. What is the reason? You have to take this particular combination because out of the two, this is a primary alkyl group. And according to the demand of Williamson synthesis, the primary alkyl group must come from the alkyl halide. And why this is not going to show the reaction? Because Williamson synthesis follows SN2 mechanism and haloarenes do not show such reactions because of the fact that this carbon halogen bond, though it looks to be a single bond, but actually it is not. It has a partial double bond character. And because of the partial double bond character, obviously it cannot show nucleophilic substitution reaction. And that is why this type of reaction will never occur. Only the first type of reaction will occur so as to give the aromatic ethers. So hence we can write as Williamson synthesis follows SN2 mechanism. Hence, to prepare aromatic ethers such as anisole, methyl group, methyl halide and sodium phenoxide must be taken. the alternate combination is not possible as haloarenes do not show SN reactions under normal conditions due to partial double bond character of CX bond. Okay, so remember this as anisole or aromatic ethers are unsymmetrical ethers. So there is only one way to prepare them, that is Williamson synthesis, but proper choice has to be made to prepare that. So while taking the combination, the 1-degree alkyl group must come from the alkyl halide and the benzene should come from sodium phenoxide. The reverse is not true. Why? Because if instead you take haloarene plus sodium methoxide, then haloarenes will not take part in the reaction due to partial double bond character. I hope this much is clear. This was discussed in the last class as well. Okay, can I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. So after preparation of aromatic ethers by Williamson synthesis, we'll now talk about reactions of ethers. Reactions of aromatic ethers. So today we will discuss only about aromatic ethers specifically. Last class, we had a discussion of mainly aliphatic ethers, but in between aromatic ethers also came. So we had discussed this reaction, cleavage of C bond O by HX. And we had come across different rules. 4 different rules were taken. And instead of HX, specifically, we had taken HI, because out of all the different halogen acids, HI is the most reactive halogen acid. So suppose you are given anisole and you are allowed to react the anisole with HI. And we know that HI, being acidic in nature, has H plus and I minus present in it. Now the question arises that whenever ethers are allowed to react with HI, you get a mixture of alkyl iodide and alcohol. So which part will be forming the alcohol and which part will be forming the alkyl iodide has already been discussed. And let us try out the mechanism of the reaction, with the help of which we can understand that what exactly will happen when Nizole is treated with HI. So HI, being a strong acid, will dissociate to give H plus and I minus. H plus will be invited by the lone pair of electrons on oxygen. And you get this unstable oxonium ion with oxygen positively charged. And last class I had discussed that there are two options left for oxygen. Either it can take away the electron from this bond or from this bond. Now, from which bond taking away the electron will not be allowed? Tell me.
So from that benzene.
Now, from the benzene, because of partial double bond character. So therefore, there is only one option left. It can take away the electron only from the methyl group. But methyl will not form carbocation, because of course methyl will lead to methyl carbocation, which is the least stable carbocation, and therefore I minus should immediately come to rescue the methyl group, and as a result of which the product formed is phenol and CH3I. So as such, the product formed will always be, one of the products formed will always be phenol. Phenol will always be one of the products, and iodine will go to the alkyl group. Doesn't matter whether it is 1 degree, 2 degree or 3 degree. The only difference is if it is 1 degree, the mechanism followed will be SN2. Then and there the attack will be taking place. If it is 2 degree, then also the mechanism followed will be SN2, because 2 degree is also not that stable. Only when the alkyl group is 3 degree, then the cleavage will take place, forming the carbocation, and in the next step the iodide will attack the carbocation. So mechanism will be SN1. But no matter whether the mechanism is SN1 or SN2, one thing will be common, that the OH will always be going along with the benzene ring. The other option is not possible because of the fact that the other carbon oxygen bond cannot be broken down. Why? Because of the partial double bond character. So this also has been discussed in details in the last class. So these two reactions have been repeated today under aromatic ethers. You remember the rules? Yes or no? Last class, did you discuss the 4 rules?
Yes, sir.
So rule number 4 was this one, and this is a repetition. Done? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the topic that is new today is the ring substitution of ethers. Electrophilic substitution reactions of ethers, which was not discussed in the last class. Electrophilic substitution of aromatic ethers. So we have learned so far haloarenes, and we have seen that the X group is -I as well as +M. -I makes it deactivating. and plus M makes it ortho and para directing. Then we moved on to the phenol topic, and we had learned that the OH group was plus I as well as plus M, and because it is plus I, so the nature was activating, and therefore the reactions were relatively faster, and because it is plus M, it is ortho and para directing. Now comes the aromatic ethers. That means the alkoxy group are present on the benzene ring. So what is the nature of the alkoxy group on benzene ring if it is asked? This is also plus I as well as plus M, just like that of the OH group on phenol. So they also activate the benzene ring towards electrophilic substitution reactions, and being plus M, they are ortho and para direct. They are ortho and para direct. So thus in all those reactions where the group is plus I, it is activating in nature, and if it is plus M, it is ortho and para directing in nature. So in all the reactions, electrophilic substitution reactions of aromatic ethers, you will see that the group will be coming in the ortho and para positions, not all at a time, because when we took phenol, it had the chance of getting converted to phenoxide ion, and it was becoming too much of activating. And that is why sometimes we saw in the reactions of phenol that all the three positions, two ortho positions and one para position, were activated at the same time. But in case of aromatic ethers, that is not the case. No doubt the OR group is activating, but the positions are not activated at a time. And therefore you get a mixture of ortho plus para products. So let us see the resonating structures of aromatic ethers, which makes it plus M in nature, due to which they are ortho and para directors. So if you have an aromatic ether, so you can see the lone pair of electrons on oxygen, similar to that of in phenol. So of course, due to plus M, the electron will be pushed towards the benzene ring. As a result of which, it will not be del minus, sorry, because del minus is to be put in resonance hybrid, not in resonating structures. So hence we see, by combining all these 5 structures, the ortho, para, and again ortho are developing negative charge. And hence, if you combine all these structures in the form of resonance hybrid oxygen is developing a partial positive charge. There is a partial double bond character here. The ortho and para positions are developing partial negative charges. And this is how we can understand that the presence of OR group on benzene ring develops partial negative charge on ortho and para positions, thereby inviting the electrophile towards the ortho and para positions. Done? You can complete it. Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
No. So just like any other aromatic hydrocarbon that we have discussed, the aromatic ethers will also show normal electrophilic substitution reactions. And when I say normal, it means either it will come at ortho or it will come at para position. So let us try to understand the set of reactions shown by the aromatic ether. And for that purpose, I take anisole as the representative, methoxybenzene or anisole. So when it is allowed to brominate, the medium taken should be acetic acid, as you can see, and you don't require any catalyst, because if you can recall, when it was bromination done in haloarenes, it was to be carried out in presence of a catalyst, and the catalyst was FeBr3. Had it been Cl2, it was FeCl3. And the catalyst is required when the aromatic compound is not that activated. But because in case of phenol or in case of anisole, this group activates the benzene ring, so you don't require catalyst. They themselves are enthusiastic in carrying out the reaction, and therefore you need to simply give bromine to brominate it without any catalyst. And accordingly, you get bromine at ortho position and bromine at para position. So this is bromination. Similarly, when you carry out nitration with concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4 combination, so of course this process will be called as nitration. I need not repeat again and again the steps or the process, because many a times you have got them. So nitro will come once at ortho position and once at para position. Orthonitroanisole and Then we'll talk about Friedel-Crafts reactions, where you take CH3Cl in presence of anhydrous AlCl3 as catalyst. You get methyl group at ortho position. And methyl group at para position. Then Friedel-Crafts acylation with acid chloride in presence of anhydrous AlCl3. So acyl group gets introduced at ortho and para positions. So these are the 4 different type of electrophilic substitution reactions that needs to be taken care of. The first one, let me write down the names of the process: bromination, nitration, Friedel-Crafts alkylation, and Friedel-Crafts acylation. So these are the 4 set of reactions. Just to give you the information that if OCH3 group is present on the benzene ring, then it will direct the incoming electrophile either to ortho position or to the para position. Tell me after you have completed. Is it done? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after discussion of the aromatic ethers as a whole, now I want you to solve some questions on ethers so that you are clear about the ethers concept, especially the Williamson synthesis of ether, as I said, is very important part, along with the cleavage with HI. So in the questions, you will be provided with the reactant, okay, in HI, and you will be asked the question that what will be the products formed. So let us try out so the things will be more clear to you. Suppose you are given the question, give the major products that are formed by heating the following ethers. With HI. Okay, so you need to follow the rules that I have given you. First one, ether that is provided to you is benzene ring, then CH2, then O, followed by again benzene ring, and then OH. So you have to find out what will be the product. So which rule do you follow in order to break this molecule with HI? Rule number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Please consult the previous class notes and tell me which rule needs to be followed in order to break down this ether with HI. Will it be rule 1? Will it be rule 2, 3, or 4? Shaima, can you tell me?
Sir, thinking.
Okay, go through and tell me which rule needs to be followed. Anyone who can tell me? This is the ethereal oxygen, and you have these two groups. Now, which rule you are going to follow so as to show the cleavage with HI? You have only one reaction under ethers. So if I treat this with HI, what do you think will be the product? HI के साथ अगर react करें, प्रोडक्ट का जो मिक्सचर फॉर्म होगा क्या क्या होगा? Yes. Think in terms of mechanism. Shehnaz is there. Shehnaz, are you there in the class? No. कोई भी बताओ. Who is there in the class? No idea. So at first, I'm going to invite the H plus to this molecule through the lone pair of electron on oxygen, making it unstable. Listen very carefully. अब बताओ कौन सा बॉन्ड जो है इजीली ब्रेक डाउन कर सकता है, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड या राइट हैंड साइड, और क्यों? Oxygen will take away the electron from which carbon? Left carbon or right carbon?
Sir, left carbon.
Left carbon. Why? Because the right carbon is benzene carbon and therefore it can take away the electron from the left one. अच्छा, left one से अगर form करे, मतलब electron अपनी तरफ खींच ले, तो it is going to form a very stable carbocation जिसका नाम है benzyl carbocation, which is resonance stabilized. तो ये हो गया benzyl carbocation. And OH of course will go to the benzene ring. एक और OH तो पहले से ही था. In the next step, it is going to invite the I minus, and therefore the product form will be benzyl iodide. तो कार्बोकेटाइन कौन कौन फॉर्म कर सकता है? एक तो 3 डिग्री कार्बोकेटाइन फॉर्म हो सकता है, because out of the 3 different types of carbocations, 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree, 3 degree is most stable due to plus I effect. उसके अलावा बेंजाइल कार्बोकेटायन इज ऑल्सो रेजोनेंस स्टेबलाइज्ड। तो कार्बोकेटायन को आइदर प्लस आई इफेक्ट स्टेबलाइज करता है या फिर रेजोनेंस इफेक्ट स्टेबलाइज करता है। सो बिकॉज there will be positive charge, so immediately the electron will come out from the benzene to help it out. और एक और species जो है according to our syllabus which can form a stable carbocation is allyl carbocation. So these carbocations are resonance stabilized, and this carbocation जो 3 डिग्री हम हर वक्त डिस्कस करते हैं, that is also stabilized but not due to resonance but due to plus I effect. तो ये वाला बॉन्ड जो है वो इजीली ब्रेक डाउन करेगा क्योंकि दूसरा बॉन्ड तो अलाउड नहीं है बिकॉज ऑफ द पार्शियल डबल बॉन्ड कैरेक्टर। एंड अगर हमको पूछे कि मैकेनिज्म क्या फॉलो होगा, तो ऑब्वियसली क्योंकि ये स्टेबल कार्बोकेटायन फॉर्म कर रहा है, सो मैकेनिज्म फॉलोड विल बी SN1 मैकेनिज्म, क्योंकि कार्बोकेटायन विल बी प्रोड्यूस्ड ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ द रिएक्शन। एंड दिस वे वी कैन से that if you are given this question to find out what are the products formed, so it will be benzyl iodide plus quinol, जहां पर OH दो हैं which are para with respect to each other. So it comes under rule number 4, which says that if any one of the side of the ethereal oxygen is bonded with benzene, phenol will always be formed. तो ये phenol में convert होगा, बाकी iodine will go to the benzyl. Is it clear? Can I move on? Have you written it down?
Yes, sir.
Actually, you'll have to remember the rules because you don't have enough time during the exam to write down the mechanism. Mechanism part I have just given to understand how the products formed are such. दूसरा वाला try करो. This must be done. It's relatively easier. CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3. Now you need to recognize, first of all, what are the nature, both are alkyl groups. What are the nature of the alkyl groups? And then consult the rule that I had given in the last class. And accordingly, tell me what will be the products. Sujal, what are the nature of alkyl groups on the two sides? Yes, sir. Alkyl group का nature क्या है दोनों साइड में? What is the nature of left hand side alkyl group? Anyone?
So 1 degree.
Yes. And right hand side?
So 1 degree.
Both are 1 degree, isn't it? Left hand side is also 1 degree, right hand side is also 1 degree. So under which rule it will come? Tell me.
Sir, rule number 1.
Rule number 1. So go through rule number 1 and accordingly try to sort out the problem. What is the rule number 1 saying? If both are 1 degree, then iodide should go to which one? Smaller 1 degree. तो products क्या form होंगे? बताओ. Which is the smaller 1 degree out of the two? Right or left?
The left side.
Left side. Left side is smaller.
Sir, right side.
That means the cleavage will occur in this manner. Okay. So the product form will be CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2OH plus CH3, CH2I. See, mechanism part we have already discussed in details. Why is it so? So when you are asked questions, you have to apply those rules. And the rule says that if both are 1 degree, अगर दोनों ही alkyl group 1 degree हो, तो iodide जो है वो smaller 1 degree के साथ जाएगा, and alcohol will be formed by the larger 1 degree. Similarly, try out the third one. CH3, CH2, CH2. उसके बाद O. C, CH3, CH3. Then CH2, CH3. This is treated with HI. So first try to recognize the type of alkyl groups on the two sides. What is the nature of this alkyl group?
So 1 degree.
1 degree. Fine. And what is the nature of the right hand side?
So 3 degree.
It is 3 degree. So which rule you need to follow? 1, 2, 3 or 4?
Rule number 3.
Rule number 3. What is rule number 3? Read it out.
So if one of the alkyl group is 1 degree and the other is 3 degree, then the product formed are 3 degree alkyl halide and 1 degree alcohol.
It is very much clear that 1 degree will form the alcohol and 3 degree will form the iodide. What is the mechanism? SN1 or SN2?
SN1.
SN1. Because 3 degree will always prefer to form 3 degree carbocation. So it can wait for the iodide in the next step, and accordingly you get this product. So you have to be continuously in touch, because that is the problem with organic. If you are not regularly in touch, it will be the most difficult part, just like mathematics. Okay, try this one out. What is the nature of the alkyl groups on the two sides of the ethereal oxygen? What is the nature of this alkyl group?
So 2 degree.
2 degree, fine. Because the carbon bonded to oxygen is further bonded to 2 carbon. And what is the nature of this carbon?
1 degree.
1 degree. Which rule needs to be followed? If one side is 1 degree, other side is 2 degree, which
So
rule?
Number 2.
Rule number 2. What is rule number 2? Read it out again.
If one of the alkyl group is 1 degree and the other is 2 degree, then the product formed are 1 degree alkyl halide and 2 degree alcohol.
And what is the mechanism followed?
Mechanism followed is SN2 mechanism.
So as long as the alkyl group is 3 degree, it will follow SN2. And iodide will prefer the 1 degree. But moment one of them becomes 3 degree, then iodide is more interested in 3 degree. So as I said, iodide या तो फिर सबसे छोटे के साथ रहेगा या फिर सबसे बड़े के साथ. तो जब तक बड़ा आ नहीं जाता, it will adjust with the smaller ones. But the moment any one of the position is occupied by 3 degree, so it is going to form the 3 degree alkyl iodide. ठीक है? Is it clear? Can I proceed? हो गया? Any doubt? Shema,
Yes, sir.
done?
Yes, sir.
I hope the points are clear.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, which rule has been followed in the first example?
Sir, rule number 4.
Rule number 4. Which rule is followed in the second one?
Sir, 1 minute.
Both are 1 degree.
Rule number 1.
Rule number 1. And the third one?
Rule number 3.
Rule number 3. And the fourth one?
Rule number 2.
Okay. So all rules have been followed. The question has been given in such a way that almost all of them have been covered. Second important topic from ethers that you must remember is preparing the suitable ethers with Williamson synthesis. The advantage of Williamson synthesis over the dehydration of alcohol is you can prepare both symmetrical as well as unsymmetrical ethers by this method. So if you are given the task of preparing any symmetrical ether like ethoxyethane, and you are given the task to prepare it from Williamson synthesis. Of course, you can prepare it both by dehydration of alcohol, and if you want to prepare it by dehydration of alcohol, you have to take 2 moles of ethanol and the reagent has to be concentrated H2SO4. Can you tell me what temperature has to be maintained? Last class we discussed to prepare symmetrical ether with the help of 1 degree alcohol. I specified the temperature. What was the temperature? Anyone? Please consult the note and tell me. ईथर के तो 2 ही प्रिपरेशन किए थे ना, एक तो डिहाइड्रेशन था अल्कोहल का 1 डिग्री अल्कोहल का और दूसरा था विलियमसन सिंथेसिस. So what should be the temperature?
443 Kelvin.
443 Kelvin will not give you ether, beta. See properly.
413.
413 or 414 Kelvin. 443 will give you what?
Ethene.
Alkene, ethene.
Yes.
Now this is one of the methods of preparation of symmetrical ethers, and if you are given the task to prepare the same ether which is symmetrical but with Williamson synthesis, there is no problem in this. Take one of them as alkyl halide and the other as sodium alkoxide. This will also give you the same product. The problem is not in preparing the symmetrical ethers from Williamson synthesis, but if you are given the task of preparing ethers of this nature, which are unsymmetrical, and on one side there is 1 degree, and on the other side it is 2 degree, then you have to make a proper choice. You cannot take any alkyl halide of your choice. So what is the proper choice? 1 degree should come from which of the two compounds? Should it come from alkyl halide or should it come from sodium alkoxide? This is 1 degree, so it should come from alkyl halide or it should come from the sodium alkoxide. What did I discuss last class? Under Williamson synthesis, tell me. Have you written down the notes on Williamson synthesis? Anyone? No one?
Sir, written.
Okay. So tell me, what have you written under Williamson synthesis? Read it out.
Sir, when alkyl halides are treated with sodium alkoxide, ethers are produced as a result of SN2 mechanism. During the
SN2
reaction,
mechanism.
yes. During the reaction, alkoxide ion acts as a nucleophile. Both symmetrical as well as unsymmetrical ethers can be prepared.
Okay. Now, if the reaction follows SN2 mechanism, then which alkyl halide prefers the SN2 mechanism the most? That also you must have written.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
My question to you is, you have just now given the fact that Williamson synthesis follows SN2 mechanism, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, among alkyl halides, which alkyl halide do you think prefers the SN2 to the maximum?
So 1 degree.
1 degree. So that means if Williamson synthesis follows SN2 mechanism and the ether that you are given to produce has 1 degree on one side and 2 degree on other side, where from this 1 degree should come? Should it not come from the alkyl halide?
Yes, sir.
That is what is the main point. So this should come from the alkyl halide. And the other part should come from sodium alkoxide. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
2 degree must come from sodium alkoxide because sodium alkoxide has no choice to make. It is comfortable equally with 1 degree, 2 degree or 3 degree, but this is very choosy. 1 degree has to come from the alkyl halide. Now suppose you are given the task of preparing this ether. What are the nature of the alkyl groups on the two sides of the oxygen? Tell me.
1 degree and 3 degree.
1 degree and 3 degree. Now, if it is 1 degree and 3 degree, then what should be the proper combination? 1 degree should come from what?
From alkyl halide.
From alkyl halide. And 3 degree should come from? Yes, 3 degree should come from sodium alkoxide, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So this is another important part. Etherot dutai dhoroner question hode. One is cleavage using HI, how it is going to break down, and one is preparing the unsymmetrical ethers with the help of Williamson synthesis. So proper care has to be taken care of, that if any one of the positions are occupied by 1 degree, it must come from alkyl halide, because alkyl halides prefer SN2 mechanism in the order 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. And if you ask me, what if the ethers that are to be prepared and given contain 2 degree and 3 degree, or 3 degree and 3 degree, or 2 degree and 2 degree? So such type of ethers are difficult to be prepared by Williamson synthesis. So whenever you will be given to prepare ether using Williamson synthesis, one side must be occupied by 1 degree, and that should come from alkyl halide. Clear or not? Keep this in mind. It's very, very important. Done? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Now, further, to talk about Williamson synthesis, if you are given the task to prepare this ether, okay, and there are two starting materials given to you. One of the material given is CH3Br, and the other material given to you is CH3, CH, CH3, CH3Br. And these are the starting materials, and by making use of the other reagent, you are given the task to prepare this. My question to you is, who can be directly converted to this particular product, this one or this one? Have you got my question, or should I repeat the question? Yes, Ayushmita, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
What is the question? Tell me. What is the product that needs to be produced? This one, isn't it? And you are
Yes, sir.
given two different starting point. I want to prepare this from this also. I want to prepare this from this also. Now, where from the process of producing this will be easier, from this or from that? What is the nature of this alkyl halide?
1 degree.
1 degree.
1 degree.
So is 1 degree preferable? 1 degree alkyl halide preferable for Williamson synthesis or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That means we can prepare this product simply by treating this with sodium tertiary butoxide, because our 1 degree is already ready, and 1 degree should come from the methyl bromide, and you need to simply treat this with the suitable reagent, you get this. But can I take this alkyl halide to prepare it? Yes or no? What is the nature of alkyl halide given to us here?
3 degree.
It is 3 degree. So 3 degree alkyl halides should not be taken for Williamson synthesis. So what can be done? You are still given the task to prepare this from this, but this is not suitable. So what should I do with this? क्या करना है इसको? Any idea? Think about it. हमको ये दिया है, बनाना ही पड़ेगा. We cannot say that we cannot prepare it. but this is not suitable for Williamson synthesis because it is 3-degree alkyl halide. So what should I do to this so that even this is also ready to prepare this particular product? Any idea? Shaima, can you give me some idea?
Sir, thinking on.
Anyone who can provide me idea? सुजल बोल सकते हैं कुछ? ओके, इसको हम पहले ट्रीट करेंगे एक्वस KOH के साथ। क्या होगा ये तो बता सकते हो?
सर BR का जगह OH आ जाएगा।
BR की जगह पर OH आ जाएगा। उसके बाद हम इसको ट्रीट करेंगे सोडियम के साथ। सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड बना के नहीं? ठीक है, एक बार जब ये सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड बन गया, इसमें क्या देने से ये प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म होगा? Sodium alkoxide is now prepared. What should I give? Shouldn't I give this one? देखो समझ में आया कि नहीं? If you are not clear, please ask me, because I won't be able to understand whether you are understanding or not if you don't ask me. Tanishka, they are in the class? Not there? Anyone who is in the class and has understood, tell me you have understood. If not, then tell me you have not understood.
Understood, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
So when you are given the task to prepare an unsymmetrical ether, alkyl halide किस तरह का होना चाहिए? Alkyl halide किस तरह का होना चाहिए? What should be the nature of alkyl halide?
1 degree.
1 degree. अगर वो 1 डिग्री नहीं है उसको बनाना पड़ेगा, एंड सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, दैट कैन बी 1 डिग्री, 2 डिग्री और 3 डिग्री। अब यहां पर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज वेरी इजी बिकॉज you are given 1 degree alkyl halide, and how do I know that the other group should be tertiary butyl group? Because it is clear from the product. तो इसलिए हमने डायरेक्टली उसको कन्वर्ट कर दिया, उसको उसके साथ रिएक्ट करा दिया tertiary butoxide. But in the second case, what you were given was a tertiary butyl bromide, and tertiary butyl bromide no way shows the Williamson synthesis. तो उसको क्या करना पड़ेगा? उसको सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा। उसके लिए फर्स्ट आई नीड टू कन्वर्ट इनटू अल्कोहल फॉलोड बाय सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड, एंड उसके बाद इट हैज टू बी ट्रीटेड अलोंग विद द सुइटेबल 1 डिग्री अल्काइल हैलाइड। अच्छा, यहां पर अगर थर्ड रिएक्टेंट दें, सपोज आपको हमने मिथानॉल दिया और मिथानॉल को कन्वर्ट करने को बोला टू दिस पर्टिकुलर मॉलिक्यूल, क्या करेंगे मिथानॉल का? अब बोलो मिथानॉल का क्या करेंगे? शुड आई कन्वर्ट दिस अल्कोहल टू सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड और समथिंग एल्स? दीपक,
Yes, sir.
मिथानॉल का क्या करेंगे? किस चीज में कन्वर्ट करेंगे मिथानॉल? हमको यही प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, लेकिन स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल अभी हमको मिथानॉल दिया है। क्या करने से बेहतर होगा? मिथानॉल को किस चीज में कन्वर्ट करने से बेहतर होगा? ऑप्शंस दो हैं, या मिथानॉल को मिथाइल ब्रोमाइड में कन्वर्ट करो या मिथानॉल को सोडियम मिथॉक्साइड में कन्वर्ट करो। किस चीज में कन्वर्ट करने से यू विल गेट द प्रोडक्ट?
सर मिथाइल ब्रोमाइड।
मिथाइल ब्रोमाइड, तो उसके लिए हम इसमें ऐड करेंगे फॉस्फोरस एंड ब्रोमीन, तो यू गेट मिथाइल ब्रोमाइड। एंड उसके बाद तो इट इज सेम एज दैट ऑफ द फर्स्ट रिएक्शन, so you treat this with this product. Understood or not? Is it clear? So if it is already 1 degree alkyl halide, no need to convert it, directly react with the other part as sodium alkoxide. But if it is not 1 degree alkyl halide, it has to be converted to 1 degree alkyl halide. And if it is 3 degree alkyl halide, no need to carry out with this, rather it has to be converted to sodium alkoxide and then treat with the respective alkyl halide. That is the utility of Williamson synthesis. तो 3 डिग्री या 2 डिग्री alkyl halide से कभी भी हम विलियमसन सिंथेसिस कैरी आउट नहीं करते हैं, हमको हर समय 1 डिग्री alkyl halide से ही शुरू करना है। अगर शुरुआत में दिया है अच्छी बात है, अगर नहीं है और कॉम्प्लिकेटेड और कॉम्प्लेक्स कुछ दिया है, इसको alkyl halide में नहीं कन्वर्ट करना है, इसको सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड में कन्वर्ट करना है, एंड देन इट इज टू बी ट्रीटेड विद सुइटेबल alkyl halide. क्लियर और नॉट? कुछ समझ आ रहा है? Shaima,
Yes, sir.
is it clear or still some doubt?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Tell
Clear.
me. It's clear. Okay. If it is clear, then tell me, you are given the task to prepare CH3, CH2, O, CH, CH3, CH3 by Williamson synthesis. There are two starting materials given. One of them is CH3, CH2Br, and the other is CH3, CH, CH3Br. This also should give you this product, and this also should give you this product. How will you proceed? किस चीज में डायरेक्टली रिएजेंट देने से प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म हो जाएगा, पहले वाले में कि दूसरे वाले में?
पहले वाले में।
The first one.
पहले वाले में। तो पहले वाले में क्या देने से तुमको ये प्रोडक्ट मिल जाएगा? ये ग्रुप तो आया इधर से, बाकी ग्रुप जो है वो कहां से आना है? Who is the other counterpart in Williamson synthesis?
सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड।
सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड, माने जो दूसरा है वो होगा ये सोडियम आइसोप्रोपोक्साइड। समझ में आया? इसको क्या करना है? प्रोसीड करें कि इसको चेंज करना पड़ेगा?
सर अल्कोहल में चेंज करना होगा।
इसको अल्कोहल में चेंज करना होगा। एक्वस KOH देंगे, उसके बाद क्या करना पड़ेगा?
सोडियम देना होगा।
Sodium.
गुड, अभी धीरे धीरे समझ आ रहा है। इसको सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड बनाना पड़ेगा। अब बन गया हमारा ये पार्ट। अब क्या देने से प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म हो जाएगा?
CH3 CH2Br।
CH3 CH2Br। आया समझ में?
Yes, sir.
So if you are given 1 degree alkyl halide, directly start. And if you are given 2 degree or 3 degree alkyl halide, don't start right way, convert it into sodium alkoxide. Is it understood, everyone? Williamson synthesis का application पता चला? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is all about Williamson synthesis. So again, I am repeating, under ether topic, Williamson synthesis is very important, and cleavage with HI is equally important. उसके बाद हम दूसरे टॉपिक में जाते हैं जो कि अल्कोहल से रिलेटेड है. एक रिएक्शन हमने किया था, पता नहीं आप लोगों को याद है कि नहीं, उसको भूल नहीं सकते हैं. एंड दैट इज द रिएक्शन ऑफ कार्बोनाइल कंपाउंड्स with Grignard's reagent, and we further hydrolyze it. तो रिकलेक्ट करते हैं क्या प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म होगा. अगर किसी को याद है बताओ. What happens to C double bond O during the process? Do you remember? Preparation of alcohol. We discussed it. What happens to C double bond O of a carbonyl compound when it is treated with Grignard's reagent? Anyone? Vedansh is not there today. Vedansh, you are not there in the group.
I am.
But you are not participating today actively.
I am little bit tired.
Revision not done properly. Okay. So can anyone tell me what will C double bond O become after the reaction with Grignard's reagent?
Sir, C single bond OH.
Very good. At least there is somebody. C single bond OH. And what happens to these two groups? Will they undergo any change or remain intact? कोई भी ग्रुप अगर हो, R1, R2 अगर इधर बैठाएं तो R1 और R2 रहेगा कि नहीं? कोई चेंज नहीं. लेकिन when you convert C double bond O to C single bond OH, carbon's valency is not satisfied. So who is going to occupy this position?
Sir, R.
R, which comes from Grignard's reagent. So before going to the next question, I know that most of you do not remember this, and without understanding this, we cannot proceed further. तो जो next reaction है, NCERT किताब का एक question है, उसको हम समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. The question is, write down. How are the following alcohols prepared by the use of suitable Grignard's reagent on methanol? मतलब ये वाला जो रिएक्टेंट है ये फिक्स है, मिथानॉल. ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट क्या यूज करना है पूछा है, एंड प्रोडक्ट्स हमको दिया हुआ है. पहला प्रोडक्ट जो है वो है CH3, CH3, CH2OH. ये अल्कोहल हमको प्रिपेयर करना है. इसको इधर बिठाना है. मिथानॉल का फॉर्मूला क्या है भाई? मिथानॉल एल्डिहाइड है कि कीटोन है? मिथानॉल एल्डिहाइड है. और टोटल कार्बन कितना होना चाहिए मिथानॉल में नाम के अनुसार?
So 1.
ओनली 1. अब अगर एक ही कार्बन हो पूरे एल्डिहाइड में तो कार्बन तो ऑलरेडी कार्बोनाइल ग्रुप में है. मतलब व्हाट शुड बी द वैल्यू ऑफ R1 एंड R2?
Sir, hydrogen.
दोनों ही हाइड्रोजन है. तो मिथानॉल मिथानाल का फॉर्मूला हो गया ये। ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट पूछा है, क्या देना है, हाइड्रोलाइसिस करेंगे और ये जो प्रोडक्ट है इस तरह से हम रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे। So you can see that this is the carbon, which is the middle carbon as it is bonded to OH. OH के साथ है, बाकी हाइड्रोजन के साथ है, और ये वाला ग्रुप है आइसोप्रोपाइल ग्रुप। एकदम डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, समझने की कोशिश करो। तो आई कैन रिप्रेजेंट दिस स्ट्रक्चर इन दिस फॉर्म। अब कंपेयर करो, ये दोनों हाइड्रोजन तो इंटैक्ट है, C डबल बॉन्ड हो सिंगल बॉन्ड OH में कन्वर्ट हो गया। सो व्हाट ग्रुप शुड कम फ्रॉम द ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट? इज इट नॉट आइसोप्रोपाइल? देखो समझ में आया कि नहीं? I have represented this structure in this format. So here we see that carbon is bonded to OH, fine. Carbon is bonded to 2H, एक H ये हो गया, एक H ये हो गया। फोर्थ ग्रुप जो है वो आइसोप्रोपाइल ग्रुप है। So this group should come from which of the two reagents? Yes,
Grignard reagent.
Grignard's reagent. So this group should be R. So accordingly, the answer is CH3, CH, CH3, MgX. So this should be the appropriate Grignard's reagent that must be taken so as to convert methanol to this product. Is it understood? If not, tell me which part is not clear. Yes, Smriti? Anyone having doubt? Vedansh?
No, sir.
Sujal?
No, sir, no doubt.
नो डाउट। अच्छा, अगर डाउट नहीं है तो इसी तरह का नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन करो। अब प्रोडक्ट चेंज कर देंगे एंड क्वेश्चन सेम रहेगा, ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट क्या यूज करना है अगर मिथानॉल इज वन ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट्स। cyclohexyl methanol. So use the same concept and tell me what should be the Grignard's reagent.
So phenyl magnesium halide.
फिनाइल तो नहीं है बेटा, ये फिनाइल है क्या? फिनाइल किसको कहेंगे? अगर बेंजीन का सर्कल होता यहाँ पर तब फिनाइल होता ना, ये तो साइक्लोहेक्साइल है. You are correct, but you are confused with phenyl and cyclohexyl, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
तो ये हो गया मिथानॉल. ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट हमको नहीं पता है. हाँ?
MGBR, sir, bromine.
No. It has not been specified. It can be any halogen. How can I write this? Can I write this molecule as this? Yes or no? ये मॉलिक्यूल और ये मॉलिक्यूल एक ही है ना?
Yes, sir.
ओके. अब लिखा इस तरह से है ताकि the things are very much clear to you. ये तो मिथानॉल का H है दोनों, तो ये इधर से आ रहा है. डबल बॉन्ड O कन्वर्ट हो गया सिंगल बॉन्ड OH. इसका मतलब ये R जो है साइक्लोहेक्साइल होगा कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
So the Grignard's reagent is cyclohexyl magnesium halide. Bromide भी हो सकता है, chloride भी हो सकता है, that doesn't matter. But we have to focus on the R, not on the halogen. Clear, Vedansh?
Yes, sir.
So cyclohexyl magnesium halide must be treated with methanol if you want to get this particular product. So in both the examples, we are getting 1 degree alcohol, because when we discuss preparation of alcohol from Grignard's reagent and carbonyl compound, when you revise, you will come to know that अगर ये formaldehyde है या मिथानॉल है, तो Grignard's reagent के साथ followed by hydrolysis 1 degree alcohol देता है. लेकिन अगर 1 डिग्री नहीं है, मिथानॉल नहीं है, कोई अदर एल्डिहाइड है मिथानॉल को छोड़कर, और सेम ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट के साथ अगर रिएक्ट कराएं फॉलोड बाय हाइड्रोलाइसिस, तो ये 2 डिग्री अल्कोहल देता है. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रिएक्शन अंडर प्रिपरेशन ऑफ अल्कोहल. और अगर ये कीटोन है और इसके साथ सेम ग्रिग्नार्ड्स रिएजेंट अगर हम रिएक्ट कराएं, तब किस तरह का अल्कोहल फॉर्म होगा? बोलो.
3 degree.
3 डिग्री अल्कोहल. तो यहां पर जो क्वेश्चन में हमको दोनों अल्कोहल्स दिए थे, both have to be 1 degree alcohols. Why? Because methanol is the starting material. Grignard's reagent कुछ भी हो, the product formed will always be 1 degree alcohol if the carbonyl compound is methanol. Methanol से हम 2 डिग्री या 3 डिग्री अल्कोहल नहीं प्रिपेयर कर सकते. We can prepare only 1 डिग्री अल्कोहल. तो इस क्वेश्चन में जो अभी हमने किया, you are given methanol and you are asked to find out the Grignard's reagent. तो इस क्वेश्चन को हम उल्टा भी कर सकते हैं. कैसे? Suppose you are given a question mark and Grignard's reagent is now provided to you. Suppose MgBr हम दे रहे हैं, and upon hydrolysis, the product that is produced is this. And now if we are asked that which carbonyl compound is this, तो हमको अब बताना है कि C double bond O तो कॉमन रहेगा. What are the two groups which you should provide by comparing the product and one of the reactants?
So methyl and ethyl.
Methyl and ethyl, simple. Methyl and ethyl. कैसे? Grignard's reagent दे रहा है हमको isopropyl group. जो कि ये है। C डबल बॉन्ड जो है वो कन्वर्ट हो रहा है C सिंगल बॉन्ड OH। बाकी जो दो ग्रुप रह गए हैं वो तो इंटैक्ट रहेंगे। So it means that it must be these two groups. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Try out this. Grignard's reagent है साइक्लोहेक्साइल मैग्नीशियम ब्रोमाइड। साइक्लोहेक्साइल, फिनाइल नहीं। अगर यहां पर बेंजीन रिंग देते तब फिनाइल होता। प्रोडक्ट जो है वो है दिस। आपको बताना है व्हाट शुड बी दिस कार्बोनाइल कंपाउंड। तो C डबल बॉन्ड हो तो रहेगा ही क्योंकि कार्बोनाइल कंपाउंड बोला है। व्हाट आर द टू ग्रुप्स आई मस्ट पुट हियर?
Sir, hydrogen and methyl.
Hydrogen or methyl, isn't it? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So remember this type of question, because you will be asked whether it is multiple choice or whether it is descriptive. The reaction of Grignard's reagent with carbonyl compound is very, very important. So what should be the suitable reagent? That must be calculated on the basis of the reagent which is already given to you and the product which is also provided to you. So with this, we come to the end of alcohols, phenols, and ethers. So according to term 1, as P block is required, so next class we'll continue with P block elements. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.